Yeah, folks. Good thing. The time is always right for a good thing. What do you say? Okay? And one of the first good things that you can do is that random act of kindness. Yes. Thinking about somebody else, not you. You know, that's how you do it. That's how you build community, turn things around at the time that somebody just feels like, hey, the whole world is against them, and poof, something nice happens for them, change their disposition. You just never know. I mean, try it. Even do it with the person that you just can't stand. All right, if you can do that, you're on the right track, and that's a good track to be on, folks. Okay. All right, y'all. Yeah. So I want to encourage my folks on the road to slow down. Okay? Just yesterday at Coming Up Contentment. Well, let's go before that. I got onto the bypass in the middle of the bypass. So I had the light. So the light changed. So the person who was waiting at the light came up behind me. And I could see that they were in a hurry. But I was making a good pace, but they were just in a hurry. So we got to the last stoplight of the bypass heading west, and the light changed, and we started off going, and we got past the gas station on Contentment, and this dude pulls out to pass me and another car that's in front of me. Well, needless to say, somebody would bank the corner to come into Contentment Road coming down. So this car didn't make it in. He made it in. He or she made it in, but it wasn't comfortable. They made it in. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if the person who was coming toward them had to put on brakes to ensure that they got in safely. Okay, so come around the corner off of Contentment, and there's this person going through all this trouble to pass these two cars in this dangerous situation, stuck behind another slower car, slower than how he was driving. They weren't driving slow, but slower than how he or she was driving. Okay? And that continued all the way down past Public Works and everything else. I'm not in a hurry because I can't go anywhere. Everybody in front of me says that if I keep a long space between me and them, then I'm safe. If I ride in somebody's bumper, any little thing happen, then I could become part of the problem. So, don't want to be part of the problem. Folks, slow down. Slow down. You know, you have to leave early. And talking from experience and talking from trying to get myself disciplined, okay? I'm not here preaching to anyone, okay? I was out there being impatient just like anybody else once upon a time, until I had an epiphany, all right, that reminded me of a previous experience that says, hey, you can get nowhere fast because all it takes is one little accident, one little bump. Nobody even have to get hurt. Vehicle don't have to get damaged, but the fact that you have that accident means everything stopped, right? So slow it down, take your time on the road, be aware of pedestrians on the road. They are not below you. Pedestrians have a right to the road the same way cars have a right to the road. If you have to stop for a pedestrian and it rubs you the wrong way that you had to stop, well, be rubbed the wrong way and let a pedestrian live, please. Okay, number one. And you know, anything else after that you don't want to have to deal with if you don't follow that basic tenet, because you're going to get where you need to go. All right. So in a minute here, we're going to be looking at some of the things on the calendar. You know, this is the practically the last week leading up to, well, weekend days. Let's go ahead, the week and a day before we're into July. But with that transition between June and July, it's like the moon changing a phase here. Well, in terms of things going on, we know we got a lot to talk about, okay? Because we have the we have the Folklife Festival that's going to be going on for practically a whole week. Practically a whole week. Okay? And I want to just talk about some of what's going on in the Folklife Festival. Okay? It starts the 24th. What day is today? That's right. Today is the 22nd. That's right. So, you see, coming this Saturday, you have got the Folklife Cultural Workshop that's going to be going on at the Wynn Museum. Yeah, I know you hear a lot about Wynn Museum. They make the source and they make the St. Croix Avis and Avis, however you want to say it. But there's a lot of other things that are going on with the Landmark Society that we don't want you to lose sight of in the process. And I say that because things may not be 100% one way or 100% the other way, but you take the percentage you got and you build on it to make it better, right? Okay. And some of what's going on here, there's a reason why we are here at the Landmark Society as part of the Folklife Festival, right? Because on the 24th, this Saturday, you've got storytelling, mokojombis, quadrille, maypole dancing, carousel singing, drumming, Crucian cooking. They need to put that one first in the list when they make the list next time. They put that first in the list. They guaranteed a crowd. And woodworking. Alright? Now, for those of you who may have noticed floating around on Facebook at 10 Sleepless Nights page and other people sharing it, is a layout showing how how and where, I should say more like where on the grounds the different things are going to be. Okay, so if you get your hands on that gives you an idea. If nothing else, when you get there, you'll be able to find what all is going on. But as you see, on that first day, Saturday, there's a whole lot going on: storytelling, mokojombi, quadrille, maypole dancing, carousel, singing, drumming, Crucian, cooking, woodworking. Yeah, lots going on. Okay. Yeah. And then on Sunday, you've got the Folklife Cultural Workshop number 2. All right, again at Wynn Museum, and both of them are from 12 noon to 5 p.m. So on Sunday they're gonna have masquerade mask making, traditional Quelbe and masquerade music, Crucian cooking, quadrille head ties, and woodworking. All right, good thing. So you see, on Saturday and Sunday, there's going to be a whole lot going on the grounds of the St. Croix Landmark Society. Yes, Wynn Great House grounds. Good thing. But we got more still to come in June, because on the 27th and the 29th at Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts from 6 to 10 p.m., they're going to have a panel discussion on the U.S. Virgin Islands history, and they're also going to have an Emancipation Art exhibit mounted at the Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts. So, haven't heard otherwise, I believe that the round table, the panel discussion is going to be on the 27th, and the exhibit is definitely going to be available the 27th and the 29th. Okay. Now, June 28th at Fort Frederick, there's going to be a presentation on the cultural evolution of Quelbe music. It's going to be narrated by Lawrence Larson, PhD. Yeah, all right. And that's from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Fort Frederick on the 28th. And then crowning out the month of June, they're going to have at Fort Frederick again, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., a night of bomba, bambula, and African dance. Yeah! All right. So, you see they're going to have it going on. All right. Good thing. We jump the broom Reach July from June. That's right. And the 2nd of July at Vern Richards Veterans Park. Okay. The waterfront right there in Frederickstead. Beautiful view. Watch the sun go down. Yeah, watch the reflection of the moon. Beautiful views. They're going to have a folk life music festival. And I think this is particularly exciting because of the variety that they're going to have. They're going to have the Sugar Hill Band from St. Kitts, the Razor Blade Band from the BVI, and of course our own Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights. And that's from 12 to 4. So you've got 4 hours and 3 bands. So non-stopping music, knocking anything but dog, okay? Alright? No animal cruelty around here. You get your little pan or something now. Don't knock the dog. Alright, good thing. Good thing. And then the following day, July 3rd, the Folklife Festival Emancipation Program goes from 6 p.m. to midnight. And they're going to have a Quelbe Tramp and quadrille dance under the stars. So, as you see, Freedom City is alive and popping in so many different ways. I mean, just yesterday we were down there doing the women's race, watching all of those people, men, women, children down there on this common mission of putting on this race and documenting and rewarding everybody, and seeing the corporate citizens that jumped out there and say, hey, we want to be part, we want to be support. VIA was right up there up front as the main sponsor. And I commend all of the sponsors, all the volunteers for their efforts in doing this, because of course when you look at the mission for Women's Coalition, yeah, it's a mission of community service. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, with confidential people manning an emergency phone line. Anyone who violence is visited upon can call. Sometimes it's just a thing of being confused on where to turn and someone to talk to. Hey, they're there. All right. So yes, come all the way up now to the Folklife Festival, starting out there on the 24th and running to the 3rd. Yeah. Now, in between all of that, we had all these different graduations the other day, and the class of 1973, it was their 50th year since graduation, and they had quite a few events here, and folks coming in from the States and anywhere else that they may have otherwise viewed some of it from via stream from time to time. But yeah, meet and greet, had paying tribute to the classmates that are no longer with us, had a church service, and it had these 2 young people, Mr. and Mrs. Schuster. Yes, these 2 young people out there going strong and leading the way for everybody else, step by step, step for step. Yes, we're very thankful to have Mr. and Mrs. Schuster there carrying the baton. And if you ain't careful and you get out of line, they'll use it on you. Oh yes, okay. And they had a great breakfast. People came out on the boardwalk and had a great time. And then Saturday, man, they had a banquet, and I had the privilege of recording it. And I said privilege because when I see Mr. and Mrs. Schuster, you see them. But when you have them and catch them on film and everything, and this is something we need to be doing more of. For all these people that are special to us, that we see as cultural bears, societal bears, however you want to look at them, all of us have an appointed day and time to leave this world and move on. And so we have an opportunity now to document and otherwise chronicle the ways in which these people are touching lives here on St. Croix. Well, the whole Virgin Islands in that sense. So don't hesitate to pull out your phone, take them video, and definitely share them with everybody. Okay? Good thing. Good thing. So, you got a Folklife Festival happening. About a week after the Folklife Festival happened on the 9th, you have got Mango Melee going on there at the St. George Botanical Gardens. Yeah, all right. And then, within days of that, or basically around the same time frame, you're going to have Come Home to St. Croix going on at the Landmark Society Wing Great House grounds. And they're going to have a very interesting new exhibit that they're going to be putting up. And I'm just telling you, mark your calendar for all of these things. Mark your calendar. It's going to be something worth checking out. All right. Good thing, good thing. So yes, there's so much that's going on in our community, but I focus on those three things because they touch very much on tradition, culture, and community, family, and things of importance, especially to the extent that as I understand it, the exhibit also incorporates genealogy. So you go down there and you see the folks that have these genealogical displays. You might have ideas or questions about how to go about doing it for your family. A great place to start, okay, is the St. Croix Landmarks Society. All right, it's yours. Utilize it. All right, good thing. Good thing. All right. There was a gentleman who's passed away that used to be at the Landmark Society, and he used to make the old style fish pot. We got anybody out there making old style fish pot? If we do, please, I need to touch bases with them, okay? One, because we need to document. The gentleman was there every time they had their displays, and the folks came in from the cruise ships, and the passengers came off the plane, and the locals were going down to see. He was there going through step by step so you could see the evolution of it. But now he's gone. If we have somebody that knows how to do it that good old-fashioned way, we want to document it because it's something that is part of our history and in some ways tradition for the time. Okay? Now, quite frankly, if somebody wants to make an outhouse the way they used to make outhouse in them days, we'll document that too. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you, it all matters. I remember my mom. Morning, Mom. I remember my mom telling me about when she went away for, we call it internship training, whatever, La Plata, Maryland. And she left in-house plumbing toilet. Went to La Plata, Maryland, and it was outhouse. So I say that to let you know that, hey, we're making progress here. And don't be comparing us to everybody else like somehow or the other we're necessarily behind the curve. There are places where we can do a whole lot better, but we can't spend time getting bogged down in what isn't as much as we want to spend more time trying to be involved in making something so we could say that this is now or shortly in the future. All right? Okay, good thing. Well, in terms of what's going on in the community, it's now about 15 minutes before 9. I'm expecting this guest. Those are the main things that I wanted to touch on. if there's something that you have going on, a community-oriented event, feel free to call 773-0390, 773-0490, and we will see that information either through your voice or through mine. Okay, either which way, we got to let the folks know what's going on in our community. Don't be planning no big thing, and don't tell nobody and then want to be disappointed if you don't have a great turnout. No. It's really up to you. Okay, you get the word out early, people can respond. You know, one of the things that's going on now, and I just happened to be in conversation with someone last year, I believe it was last year, the legislation was passed, whenever the legislation was passed for Freedom Week. But one of the things that happens is when you're in something, when you're involved in something, you kind of get the impression that everybody else know what's going on. Well, they came up with this concept of Freedom Week, and so now we're hearing about Freedom Week. The problem is, you got Freedom Week, you have Juneteenth, you got the Emancipation Day activities, you got July 4th activities, and I've met quite a few people who ain't really put the 2 plus 2 together, because this whole thing of Freedom Week, they had what they had last year, and then you hear nothing again about it, and now they start talking about Freedom Week, and it got people walking around saying, what that be? Freedom Week, I keep hearing about this Freedom Week, what that be? Okay, well, Freedom Week is like, to me, just saying you're going to put an umbrella over that space and time that deals with emancipation, culture, tradition, and all of those things. So think of it as an umbrella where the pole goes right up through July 3rd. Okay, so you have everything that, as you go out to the edge, that comes before July 3rd, and everything that goes out to the other edge after July 3rd. But all under the spirit, to me, of emancipation via history, via freedom. Okay, that's what it means to me. So if you're hearing this thing, Freedom Week, and you're wondering why it be, well, if what I said to you just now makes sense, then you know why it be. All right. If it don't make sense, then you have to do your own research. But I gave it my best shot. And I'm hearing the ads now about what's planned for Freedom Week, and I'm so glad to be hearing this information now. Okay, you know. However, Freedom Week planners, I'm just telling you from experience, you want the best participation and turnout for a period like that, do like the 10 sleepless nights and be talking about it from months before. And I say that you don't have to know the exact date for every event, the exact time for everything. All you have to do from months out is be talking about your event, and then maybe within the last 2 weeks you start fleshing out your event to the public, so by the time the event comes, everybody's on board and they're going to show up in great numbers. Okay, you know, just like the Pate Festival that was floating around for a long time. I hear it had people out there like, what would I say, like peas. They thought it was the agricultural food fair almost. Well, that's all well and good that was going on. I was not there because my appointment was in Frederickstead that day, and the back and forth between there. So I'll have to, and this was a kind of like a once in a lifetime thing. Family, friends, tradition. Yep. So I couldn't be missing in action from that. So Party Festival next year. Okay, a once in a lifetime ain't coming next year. It happened this year, so I'll be there. Okay, definitely to check that out. Well, I should say creator willing. Okay, the creator willing that I'm going to be here to witness it, I'll be there. All right, good thing. Okay, so folks, You know, there's a lot of things that go into how we are, and one of them that's very very important is your upbringing, your community, the elders in your neighborhood, the mentors you have around you, the repetition of things that shape your community. I say that, for instance, we say good morning, good afternoon, good night, sometimes to the confusion of people that visited. But after a while, they get it. They get it. It's just kind of like basic manners and civility. And it's important. It's very, very important. Okay? And we would like these things to persist in our community, and for it to persist, we have to practice it. And I say that when somebody comes off the street of New York and they come here to the Virgin Islands and you say good morning, good afternoon, they might keep their head straight. They might glance their eye over to see, make sure, ain't nothing otherwise going on, because they come from an environment where that type of cordiality and hi, how you doing type of thing is just not the norm on the street. You mind your business, you move from point A to B, get where you gotta go so you don't get caught up in nothing mentality. So they come here and they see us practicing these things, and they have an opportunity to let their hair down, like Brother R would say, relax a little bit, and say, okay, I can get in this groove. Okay, yeah, and I don't have to be here on this time and that time. I'm on my time because I'm on vacation, so forth and so on. Hey, yeah, but we have to practice it. Okay. Now, I have to say that we sometimes aren't doing the best job of practicing it. And I'm saying that not as a criticism. I'm saying that hopefully as an encouragement. An encouragement where we can do better. We can do better. All right? Okay. So that's what's going on in my mind as I go down the road and I say hello to people who I know them, I know their parents, I know how they bring up, but somehow or the other it's like they're forgetting these things. When you say hello to somebody, when you shake a hand, when you give a daps, you're not lowering yourself to anybody. It's just a matter of civility, part of the tapestry of community, the threads that bind us together. You got to nurture those things. You got to. Okay? And remember, when you're walking down the road and you there saying that somebody didn't say hello to you, my question to you is, did you say hello to them? Because you just never know what's going on in somebody's mind, what they're focusing on, what might be weighing heavily on them, that they could walk right by you like they didn't see you. From a different angle, yesterday I was with friends at the independent living office, the function that they had there, and visitors that came by to speak and everything else. And I was talking to this one person, trying to get their attention, and I couldn't get their attention, and it seemed like they were ignoring me. Well, I persisted. Well, it turns out that the person, okay, who just happens to be very much visually impaired, okay, explained to me that no, they weren't ignoring, they were actually focused on something that was being said someplace else, and then the bell, just went off, and they went on to explain. Boom. When you lose your sight, one of the areas that you have that it becomes your new sight is your hearing. But then there are all of these sounds coming from every direction, and you have to learn how to parse through them, and you have to learn how to tune out certain areas and focus where you need to focus at the time. So this person was focused on a conversation that was going on, to the extent where I was right next to them and talking to them, and it's like they didn't even hear me. All right? So, folks, I say that simply to say, don't go around jumping to conclusions and this person just walk past me and they say nothing, like they think they this and it. Folks, you just don't know what's going on in people's lives sometimes, okay? You see Doug walking up and down the street with a happy-go-lucky look on his face and everything else. You think everything just hunky-dory and nice for Doug Canton? Not necessarily. But as I tell the youth out there, don't wear what's on your mind on your shoulder. You don't have to advertise what's on your mind and what's going on in your life. Although it's something that everybody sometimes does. It's a human thing. A human thing. A human thing. So, what are we talking about? Human nature? chair all warmed up and everything else. And getting ready to go. Let me see here what we got. We got a caller on line 1. Okay. Good morning, WSTX.
Good morning.
Good morning. I understand. Yeah. Okay. So how you doing this morning, sir?
Making up this place. Up this morning.
Okay, but you got up this morning.
Yeah. That's the morning what I did.
Okay. That is the most important thing, okay? Because you have those who didn't get up this morning, okay, in the process.
Yeah. That's true. There are some people, a lot of people across the region of the world that didn't wake up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
There are the ones that did.
Okay.
But, yeah, I was talking about the incident yesterday at the center. Hello?
Yeah, I'm right here. Go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, the individual was focused on the other conversation. I wasn't hearing you.
Yeah.
I wasn't hearing me either. When I was kind of because I was kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let me. I need to. I got my guests in here. Okay. So I need to take a minute and set up and get the sound right and get.
Yeah. Send you a text with everything coming too.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan. All right.
Cool.
All right.
Gonna be here today?
Take it.
I believe so.
Okay. All right, folks. We're gonna continue on here in a minute. Let me just. It's the top of the hour, so we got some advertisements coming from the people who make this community-minded process and show and everything possible. So let's do it, folks. All right.
This is AM 97 WSTX.
I feel the earth move on the
Yes, ma'am. Talk to me. Good, thank you.
That song reminds me that we're in an earthquake and
I'm at the radio
I better
station.
run down to Age of Ocean Insurance
We're
and
getting
make
ready to
sure
go
that
back on
God
that.
spare life, my family and assets are protected in case of disaster.
Okay,
You hear? I
sounds
hear
like
that
a plan.
Inter-Ocean Insurance has
Okay.
good rates right here in the
All right,
Virgin
good.
Islands. Conveniently located in Petersburg Shopping Center on St. Croix and Buccaneer Mall on St. Thomas. As a matter of fact, let me call one of the numbers now. That's 773
Those are stuff. It's on the thumb drive. I know you say you want it on the thumb drive.
Right. Now,
Inter-Ocean
Give me a
Insurance
second.
is
I don't have
available.
enough sound in
From
here with-
Firehead or Paiwa.
So,
Ocean Insurance, serving the Virgin Islands for over 37 years.
Announcing Moe's Service Station in Estate Glen St. Croix. We heard your call, and here comes Moe's, where you get more for your dollar. Better prices, products, and service. Moe's is more than gas. They're determined to restore confidence among us as people in this community. Come celebrate and change the culture. If you don't see what you want, ask for it at Moe's Service Station. Moe's offering a 5% discount to government employees, senior citizens, veterans, and fishermen. For the best prices and service, call. Check out Moe's Service Station in Estate Glen St. Croix. Call it 340-277.
right, isn't it?
Oh, wait.
WSTX.
Let me use the restroom quick.
Frederickson and the Virgin Islands.
Your home for our town food on our lovely island is aptly named Our Town Paradise. Our Town Paradise is the place to
Kind of
bring your
strange
friends to
that's
show
going on
them
here.
just how
So
good vegan and pescatarian food can be. Located at 2220 Queen Cross, above One Marquet. We are open Monday to Saturday, 12 to 9 p.m. Call for takeout orders at 713-4825. That's 713-4825.
WX AM 970 WSTX.
Kind of figured I got a problem here. I got to fix it.
Okay, you.
So we got some more ads.
Yeah, I got more ads.
AM 970, WSTX, Houston, Frederickston, and the Virgin Islands.